Did you know that dementia isn't just something that affects the elderly? In fact, some types can start as early as your 40s or 50s, when you're still working, raising a family, and living an active life. One of the most misunderstood forms is frontotemporal dementia, or FTD. Unlike Alzheimer's, which starts with memory loss, FTD affects your personality, behavior, and language first. At first, the changes can be subtle. Maybe someone becomes unusually impulsive, struggles to find the right words, or suddenly loses interest in things they once loved. These shifts are often mistaken for stress, burnout, or even a midlife crisis. But over time, the symptoms get worse, disrupting daily life and relationships. Recognizing the early signs is crucial because the sooner it's identified, the better the support, treatment, and planning can be. Don't ignore these warning signs. Number 1. Personality changes. One of the earliest and most shocking signs of frontotemporal dementia, a noticeable shift in personality. Imagine someone you've known for years, maybe a reserved, quiet person, suddenly becoming outgoing, blunt, or even inappropriate. Or someone who was always kind and considerate starts acting cold, rude, or aggressive, seemingly without reason. These changes can be confusing and even painful for family and friends. What makes it even more challenging? The person often has no idea their behavior is different. Unlike typical mood swings or stress-related changes, these shifts aren't temporary, they gradually worsen over time. Some individuals lose interest in their lifelong goals or stop caring about things that once mattered deeply, whether it's their career, hobbies, or even their personal hygiene and appearance. Others may show increased impulsivity, making reckless financial decisions, engaging in risky activities, or even acting inappropriately in social settings. Mood swings are also common. One moment, they're laughing and full of energy. The next, they're irritated or angry without any clear trigger. These changes can put a significant strain on relationships, especially if loved ones don't realize that it's the disease, not the person, causing these behaviors. If you notice these shifts in someone close to you, trust your instincts. Personality changes are one of the biggest red flags of early dementia, and recognizing them early can help ensure the right medical intervention, support, and care. Number 2. Loss of empathy. One of the most painful and confusing changes in frontotemporal dementia is the loss of empathy. You might notice that someone who was once deeply caring and compassionate suddenly seems indifferent to the emotions of others. They may no longer react to a loved one's sadness, frustration, or joy the way they used to. At first, it might seem like they're just distracted or preoccupied, but over time, their emotional disconnect becomes more noticeable. They might not offer comfort when someone is upset, or worse, they may laugh at inappropriate moments, like during a funeral or when someone is crying. These reactions can be incredibly hurtful to family members, who may feel like the person they love is slipping away. But here's what's important to understand: they're not doing this on purpose. The disease is affecting the areas of the brain responsible for emotional processing, making it hard for them to recognize, understand, or respond appropriately to the feelings of those around them. In some cases, they may stop expressing love altogether, not saying "I love you," avoiding physical affection, or even forgetting special moments like anniversaries or birthdays. Their reactions to serious news might also feel unsettlingly flat. Things that would normally cause worry, sadness, or excitement barely seem to register. If you start noticing these changes, don't take it personally, but do take it seriously. A sudden loss of empathy is a major warning sign of FTD, and early intervention can make a big difference in understanding and managing the condition. Number 3. Socially inappropriate behavior. One of the most challenging and embarrassing signs of frontotemporal dementia is socially inappropriate behavior. Imagine someone you care about, a person who always respected boundaries and acted appropriately, suddenly making offensive or tactless remarks without any awareness that it's wrong. They might comment rudely on someone's appearance, make blunt or hurtful observations, or joke compulsively in serious situations where humor is unwelcome. Over time, their behavior may become more disruptive in social settings, leaving family members and caregivers struggling to explain or apologize for actions that are completely out of character. Ignoring social norms is common. They may stand too close to others, speak too loudly, or even touch strangers without realizing it's inappropriate. But there's more to this symptom than what meets the eye. Many people with FTD experience a complete loss of their social filter, which can lead to bizarre or rude comments in public that can shock or offend those around them. They may also fail to recognize danger, engaging in risky behaviors like walking into traffic, handling dangerous objects, or putting themselves and others in harm's way. This symptom isn't just embarrassing, it can be frightening, especially when it puts the person or others at risk. If you notice sudden, uncharacteristic changes in someone's social behavior, it's crucial to seek medical advice. Understanding that these behaviors are caused by the disease, not the person themselves, can help you navigate this symptom with patience and compassion. Number 4, poor judgment and reckless decision-making. One of the most alarming signs of frontotemporal dementia is a decline in judgment and decision-making. Someone who was once financially responsible and made thoughtful choices may suddenly start acting impulsively, making decisions that put themselves or others at risk. At first, the signs might seem minor, wearing a jacket in the middle of summer or leaving doors unlocked at night, but over time, their ability to assess situations logically starts to deteriorate. A common and devastating effect of poor judgment in FTD is financial irresponsibility. A person may begin reckless spending, gambling, or falling for scams, even when they were once cautious with money. Some individuals start giving away valuable possessions without explanation, donating large amounts to strangers or handing over treasured heirlooms without understanding the consequences. This can be particularly dangerous for families, as it may lead to financial losses that cannot be recovered. Another concerning behavior is refusing medical help, even when symptoms are obvious. They might deny anything is wrong, resist seeing a doctor, or dismiss concerns from loved ones. This can delay a proper diagnosis and limit the opportunity for early intervention. Additionally, people with FTD fail to recognize danger, leading to reckless actions like driving dangerously, running into traffic, or handling sharp or hazardous objects carelessly. These changes can be frustrating and heartbreaking for family members who may feel powerless watching a loved one make harmful choices. If you notice sudden and persistent poor judgment in someone close to you, it's essential to step in early, offer support, and seek medical advice to prevent serious consequences. Number 5, apathy and loss of interest in activities. Apathy is one of the most heartbreaking and misunderstood symptoms of frontotemporal dementia. Unlike depression, which often comes with feelings of sadness or hopelessness, apathy in FTD is marked by complete indifference. The person simply stops caring. Someone who was once enthusiastic about their hobbies, social life, or family may suddenly lose interest and withdraw from activities they once loved. They may stop going to social gatherings, decline invitations, or spend excessive time alone, showing no desire to interact with friends or loved ones. Even close family members, like grandchildren or lifelong friends, may no longer spark joy or excitement. A person who once doted on their pets may suddenly neglect them, forgetting to feed or play with them. One subtle but telling sign of apathy is a lack of initiative in conversations. They wait for others to speak first, responding only in short or vague answers instead of engaging meaningfully. They may sit in silence for long periods, showing no desire to start discussions or share their thoughts. These changes can be frustrating for caregivers and loved ones who may feel hurt, ignored, or rejected. But it's crucial to understand that this is the disease, not the person. Encouraging small interactions, gentle engagement in activities, and structured routines can help keep them connected, but patience is key. Recognizing early signs of apathy can help families prepare and ensure their loved one gets the support they need. Number 6. Repetitive behaviors and rigid routines. One of the more subtle but telling signs of frontotemporal dementia is the development of repetitive behaviors and rigid routines. At first, these actions may seem harmless, like someone folding the same piece of clothing over and over or rearranging objects repeatedly. However, as the disease progresses, these repetitive habits become more intense, persistent, and difficult to interrupt, often causing frustration for both the individual and their caregivers. A person with FTD may also become fixated on specific routines, showing extreme distress if their schedule is disrupted. They might insist on eating the same meal every day, following a strict order of activities, or even taking the same route while walking or driving. These routines offer them a sense of control, but when anything changes, like a restaurant being closed or an unexpected visitor, it can lead to anxiety, agitation, or even aggression. In addition to physical routines, some individuals develop repetitive speech patterns, repeating the same phrase or question multiple times in a conversation, even when they just received an answer. Another overlooked but important symptom is compulsive hoarding, accumulating unnecessary items, sometimes even trash, and refusing to part with them. This can create cluttered and unsafe living conditions, adding to caregiving challenges. Understanding these behaviors is crucial for caregivers. Instead of forcing changes, it's often best to adapt to the person's need for repetition when possible, while gently introducing small adjustments to prevent frustration. Recognizing these signs early can help families and doctors develop strategies to manage symptoms and maintain quality of life. Number 7. Changes in eating habits. A surprising but significant early warning sign of frontotemporal dementia is dramatic changes in eating habits. Many people with FTD develop intense cravings for sweets, even if they never had a sweet tooth before. They may eat excessive amounts of sugary foods, binge on desserts, or constantly seek out candy, chocolate, or pastries. Others may overeat uncontrollably, forgetting they've already had a meal and eating again within minutes. This can lead to rapid weight gain and digestive issues, making it difficult to maintain balanced nutrition. But the changes don't stop there. Some individuals completely lose interest in food, requiring constant reminders to eat. Others may develop rigid eating habits, insisting on the same meal every single day or refusing to eat unless the food is presented in a specific way. They may also reject foods they once enjoyed, displaying an extreme aversion to certain textures, flavors, or temperatures. In some cases, FTD can trigger pica, a condition where people consume non-food items like paper, dirt, soap, or even fabric. This behavior can be dangerous, leading to choking hazards or digestive blockages, and requires close monitoring by caregivers. These eating changes can be frustrating and confusing for loved ones, but it's important to recognize that they are a symptom of the disease, not a personal choice. Caregivers may need to find creative ways to encourage balanced eating, ensure safety, and adjust meal plans to accommodate new, often unpredictable, food preferences. Number 8. Difficulty with complex tasks. One of the more subtle but troubling signs of frontotemporal dementia is difficulty handling complex tasks, things that require planning, organization, or multiple steps. Someone who once cooked meals with ease might struggle to follow a simple recipe, skipping steps or forgetting ingredients, even if they've made the dish for years. Similarly, Once independent individuals may have trouble managing their finances, forgetting to pay bills, losing track of due dates, or making costly mistakes with money. Technology can become another frustration point. A person with FTD may struggle to use their phone, computer, or remote control, even if they were once tech-savvy. Learning new apps, following on-screen prompts, or navigating basic settings can suddenly feel overwhelming. Multi-step instructions, like setting up a TV or following a GPS, become confusing and frustrating, often leading to abandoning the task altogether. As the disease progresses, even basic self-care routines start to break down. Someone may forget how to brush their teeth properly, struggle to put on clothing in the right order, or neglect daily hygiene tasks altogether. At first, these lapses may seem occasional, but over time, they become more frequent and noticeable. These struggles can be frustrating and even embarrassing for the person experiencing them, leading to withdrawal from tasks they once enjoyed. For caregivers, providing gentle reminders, simplifying routines, and offering step-by-step guidance can help maintain independence for as long as possible. Recognizing these difficulties early can be key in getting proper support and care. Number 9. Language problems. One of the most frustrating and noticeable symptoms of frontotemporal dementia is a decline in language abilities. At first, it might seem like occasional forgetfulness. Someone struggles to find a common word, pauses frequently in conversation, or uses a similar but incorrect word, for example, saying dog instead of cat. But over time, these speech difficulties become more frequent and severe, making everyday communication challenging and frustrating. People with FTD may also speak less and less over time, often resorting to short phrases, repetitive statements, or generic responses instead of forming full sentences. A once talkative person might become quiet, not because they don't want to speak, but because they struggle to find the right words. This can lead to frustration, social withdrawal, and a loss of confidence in conversations. But language difficulties don't just affect speech, they can also impact writing and reading. Some individuals develop messy or disorganized handwriting, making their notes hard to understand. Letters and numbers may become jumbled or misplaced, leading to confusing emails, text messages, or written lists. Others may struggle with reading aloud or processing spoken information, making it difficult to follow conversations, read books, or even understand simple instructions. These changes can be devastating for both the person and their loved ones. If you notice these gradual communication struggles, it's essential to seek medical advice early. Caregivers can help by speaking slowly, using visual cues, and encouraging alternative communication methods, such as gestures or writing when speech becomes too difficult. Recognizing these challenges early can help maintain connection and quality of life for as long as possible. Number 10. Lack of self-awareness. One of the most frustrating and confusing aspects of frontotemporal dementia is that many individuals have no awareness that something is wrong. Even when the signs are obvious to everyone around them, they often deny any issues, insisting that everything is fine. This lack of self-awareness, known as anosognosia, can make getting a diagnosis and providing care extremely challenging. When family members or friends point out these behavioral, emotional, or cognitive changes, the person may become defensive, irritated, or even angry. They might brush off concerns, blame others for their struggles, or make excuses for their unusual behavior. What's worse, they may actively resist help, refusing to see a doctor or rejecting medical advice, which delays proper intervention. As the disease progresses, this denial can evolve into paranoia. The person may start accusing loved ones of stealing, believing that items are being misplaced or taken on purpose. They might suspect family members or caregivers of plotting against them, leading to mistrust and conflict in relationships. This can be incredibly painful for those trying to help, as the person they love no longer sees them as a source of support, but as a threat. Additionally, individuals with FTD often refuse medical appointments or medications, believing they don't need them. This can make treatment difficult, as they may reject essential care, ignore safety concerns, or refuse assistance with daily tasks. If you notice these behaviors, patience and persistence are key. Rather than arguing, caregivers can offer gentle encouragement, use positive reinforcement, and work with doctors to find ways to ensure care is received without confrontation. Recognizing these warning signs early can help families prepare for the challenges ahead and ensure their loved one gets the support they truly need. Dementia is a progressive condition, but early recognition can make a huge difference in managing symptoms and planning for the future. If you recognize any of these signs in yourself or a loved one, don't ignore them, seek medical advice as soon as possible. While there is no cure for frontotemporal dementia, FTD, early diagnosis allows for better symptom management, access to support, and improved quality of life. For caregivers, this journey can be emotionally and physically exhausting. Remember to prioritize your own well-being, join support groups, and take regular breaks to avoid burnout. You are not alone. If this video helped you, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed any of these signs in someone close to you? Let's raise awareness together.